I was planning to do this eventually, but then somebody actually requested it. So let's take a look at global payments. This is a more exciting stock than I thought it was. And it's number 2 on my TGI list. Global Payments, helping you connect. We'll take a look at their website in a little bit. They have a very extensive history section on their website. And these next couple slides are just the highlights coming out of that. Global Payments started as National Data Corporation in 1967. George Thorpe, who was a retired Deputy Director of Intelligence with the U.S. Air Force, envisioned a specialized data processing system for payments while working for Southern Railway. As you'll recall, if you watched my video on Visa and MasterCard, credit cards had just been launched in 1958 as a big thing. And they needed a consistent way for businesses to make these transactions, both business to customer and business to business. And in the Air Force, Mr. Thorpe had seen what computers could do, and he figured that a computer system could help with those transactions. Remember, MasterCharge and Bank AmeriCard, those were the precursors for MasterCard and Visa, but they're not payment processors, they're just brands. They're not offering the credit, the banks are. But they didn't have the infrastructure to provide payment processing in the beginning. National Data Corporation was formed to fill that gap. The initial IPO was in 1968, selling for $15 a share. They've had 2 stock splits since then, and they started offering bank card authorization services in 1969 and had their first profitable quarter immediately because everybody wanted to use the cards. In 1972, the U.S. Postal Service signs a contract with NDC to process payments. In 1976, 50% of all banks in the United States and Canada use NDC for MasterCharge authorizations. 50%. And then the acquisitions began. Proheca, healthcare payment processor. Datastat, a pharmacy payment system, was installed in 22 states in 1979. They acquired Cisco credit card and remittance processors. The market was saturated with a whole bunch of different options, and the consolidation began almost immediately. Data capture system, modular data. They entered the Japanese market with an agreement with JCB in 1990. And then they became Global Payments. So they launched originally as a partnership with MasterCard International in April of 1996. In 1999, Paul Garcia was brought in as the CEO, and the name changed to Global Payments in 2000. Global Payments was launched as a spin-off of NDC, taking all of the payment processing, and NDC became NDC Health Corporation, and then they merged with McKesson in 2006. And the acquisitions continued. We'll look at their website in a little bit. Their history section is amazing. Canada, Visa and MasterCard, Muzo in the Czech Republic. They started processing Discover Card in 2006. They bought United Card Service in Russia for $75 million. They connected with China's UnionPay in 2010. They bought Accelerated Payment Technologies for $413 million. Easy Debit for $305 million out of Australia. These are just the highlights. The biggest ones were the latest two acquisitions. Heartland Payment Systems for $4.3 billion and Total Systems Services for $21.5 billion just last year. This paragraph is from Business Insiders. Global Payments focuses on ensuring businesses accept all major forms of payments. To that end, its services include credit, debit, purchasing cards, electronic check conversion, money transfer, verification and recovery services, gift and loyalty cards, a check guarantee, ACH checks, financial EDI services, and point-of-sale equipment. What are we looking for in the future? Well, this is just one thing. Payment Innovation Hub in Barcelona, Spain. This is one of their projects that launched. Let's take a look at their website before we get into first impressions. So this is their core website, helping you connect with your customers wherever they are. This company has a goal of being able to provide payment services to anyone, anywhere, for anything. Their solutions are all over the map. This is one that got my attention. Internet of Things. They are getting into blockchain. They are getting into cryptocurrencies. Subscription payments. Businesses? Well, they will deal with all kinds of businesses, of all sizes, small, enterprise, purely online. They work in all sectors. People pay for things in all sectors. Let's take a look at that history. Down here, here's their timeline, and this is where I got a lot of those blurbs. You can scroll through the entire history, going all the way back. This was a lot of fun to look through. I love companies with good long history, but this company had come out of nowhere on my list. It just keeps going. Jeffrey Sloan is currently the CEO, and he's taking it in very exciting directions. Here's the acquisition of Heartland. Here's the Payment Innovation Hub. All right. First impressions. Their stock price right now is $172.63. Yeah, that's high. But think about that mission. Connect anyone to anyone else for payment services anywhere in the world for just about anything. Is that stock price high? Where are they going to go? That's the real question. Are they a household name? For business to business and for businesses all around the world, the answer is yes. If you want payment processing, you're probably going to go through Global Payments. The customers, anyone who pays for anything anywhere. Regions, they are global. Their current market capitalization is $51.63 billion. Sector information technology, industry, data processing, and outsourced services. Just like Visa and MasterCard, this is not a financial company. This is a data company. It's technology. 10-year price and volume. Coming from around 25 to 30 10 years ago, up to 172 today. Yeah, they were hit with COVID. Everybody was, but they're recovering. But this growth is amazing. This is not steady growth. Dividend history. What happened was really interesting. Let's look at their last one. It was announced on May 6th, paid on June 26th, 0.195 per share. The thing is, their last dividend in December of 2019 was a 1,850% increase from prior. They were paying a penny per share for a very long time, since the beginning basically. Here's the two stock splits. And then they bumped it up to almost 20 cents. That's why the stock is so high on my total growth investing ranking list. I don't know how long that will last. Eventually it's going to smooth out. But if they do everything that they might be doing, this might just be the beginning. We'll just have to see. Yield on cost. This is just 10 years, up to a little over 4% per share. We'll take it out to all when we get to Seeking Alpha. Total return, this is spectacular, 791.97%. That started beating the S&P back in January of 2015, and it's just gone up from there. Let's take a look at Seeking Alpha. So I wanted to show you yield on cost. Here's 5 years. Here's the 4% we saw for 10 years. But all, if you bought it at IPO, you'd be getting about 15% now. What else we got? Here's that dividend history again. Their dividend growth numbers are outlandish. This is why they're number 2 on my total growth investing list. It depends on how you look at the last year. Is it 1387 or 462.50? I use 462.50 on my list because this is just a little insane. But that's cool. Let's look at momentum. So current total return 781.33. This is the COVID shutdown because people weren't going out and buying. But we will. Here's the price again. Let's look at Torson's. Dividend stocks.cash has GPN. So this is what is exciting. Operating cash flow expected. These are the estimates. All right. Earnings per share going up. Let's make that a little bit easier to see. Revenue and margins. Are pretty constant. And the revenue is going to go up. Mostly because Total Systems, their latest acquisition, was so big. They're going to be able to capitalize on that. Because they were very close together in market share. And when they merged, it created a powerhouse. Let's look at those estimates in a little more detail. Well, first off, the dividend fair value calculation is a little outlandish because of that major jump. Let's take that out. So The valuation question is important. Are they overvalued? Right now, yes. Based on what the fair value calculation should be, they are. But we don't invest for today, we invest for tomorrow. So what's it going to be at the end of 21 or the end of 22? Let's just use earnings per share fair value. And we're going to see an increase. And again, this is only going out to 2022. A company that is focused on being able to provide payment services for anyone, anywhere, and they're getting into blockchain, I think they're going to do well. Let me know in the comments what you think about global payments. If you're buying, what price are you looking for? Do you want it to drop back down to fair value here or here before you get it? Let me know. I'm buying. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments.